Beto and the Bone Dance by Gina, Freschet. Beto and the Bone Dance. The skeletons have started to appear in shop windows, on balconies, in houses, skeletons all over town. Beto laughs at all the skulls. He loves those crazy calaveras. They're loco. This is his favorite holiday. In many places it's called Halloween, but here it's El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And one of Beto's favorite things about El Día de los Muertos is all the skeletons. So many kinds. Candy skeletons, ballerina skeletons, skeletons at the beach, skeletons at the dentist, skeletons playing the marimba. Mira, papi, look, says Beto. Gracioso. Very silly, Papi agrees. Keep poking fun at them to show them we're not afraid. We're not scared of you, sonsos, hoots Beto. Papi takes Beto through the town to see all the altars made this year. Every shop and home and little square has one. Lacy paper cutouts rustle from them like banana leaves. Each altar is made in memory of someone who died. But today isn't a sad day, just the opposite. El Día de los Muertos is a day for celebration. The altars hold all the dead person's favorite foods and treats and toys. This is to welcome them home for one night a year. Beto and Papi are making an altar for Beto's abuela, his grandmother who died last spring. First, they must go to the market. Papi inspects the calabazas. Beto gets to pick out the flowers. Later, their relatives will come to help decorate the altar. Beto wants to add something all his own to the altar, something abuela will know is just from him. The market bursts with fruits and flowers. Clouds of incense float by, and skulls stare with tinfoil eyes. Beto looks up at the beeswax candles hanging overhead and says, I know. I will bring those shiny striped velas. Sorry, Beto, but Tia Tish is bringing the velas, says Papi. They stop in front of the rows of pan de muertos, the bread of the dead. Beto sees one adored with abuela's favorite flower. Then I'll bring that bread. Lo siento. Sorry again, says Papi. But your cousins are already bringing the pan de muertos. Beto frowns. He has to think of something else, and nothing seems to be right. Back at home, Beto and Papi set up the altars carefully. Beto fills the house with marigolds and purple coxcomb. At the table, he makes figurines out of paper with garbanzo bean heads. Meanwhile, Papi carves the calabezas. Make one look like abuela, says Beto, with big eyes and little teeth. All the altars are filled with flowers and fruit, but there are personal decorations that make each one different. Late that afternoon, Tia Tish and Tio Lolo arrive with Beto's cousins Leti and Carmea. Tia Tish arranges the candles she's brought and lights them. Leti and Mea put their loaves of pan de muertos on the altar. Beto racks his brain. Then he blurts, I know! Abuela loves soda pop! And he runs to get a refresco. Supra fizzy, his favorite kind. But when he returns, Tio Lolo is already putting a bottle of refresco on the altar. I know, thinks Beto. Abuela loved chocolate too, and he runs to get some. But when he comes back, Mea has beat him to it. Then Leti spreads out a whole bag full of nuts and grapes, candies and calaveras and oranges, a pot of tamarindo chili, a scarf, a pin, and the cat sequins collar. This is all for abuela, she announces. Beto is flabbergasted. He runs and rummages in a closet. He comes back with an old shoe. Tia Tish clucks. You don't put a shoe on the altar, Beto. What does that mean to your abuela? And everyone looks at him. Papi tells him, help me put out the toy mariachis. Your abuela loved music. But Beto wants to add something all his own. He goes outside and kicks the dirt in order to think. He sulks at the setting sun. Soon it's night. Beto and his family gather up flowers and candles to make a little altar at the Panteon, the cemetery. Tonight, Beto's allowed to stay up all night long. In the centro, fireworks spit. The streets are filled with people, some of them disguised as diablos and superheroes. Beto and his family join a procession of spooks and musicians who troop from house to house, singing loud for bread and chocolate. Soon, Beto has a foamy chocolate mustache. At last, they come to the Panteon. Beto holds his breath as he enters the big gates. The Panteon is lit up with the flames of 1,000 velas and filled with fountains of flowers. Lots of people are already there. Musicians stroll and sing and play guitars. There is the smell of burning incense and scorched marigold blossoms. Families picnic on the decorated graves of their ancestors. They tell stories and laugh and remember all the good things the person did while alive. Tia Tish puts Abuela's favorite dishes on the tumba, the grave. Letty and Mela play checkers and dice on the stone. Beto sprinkles marigold petals around the tumba. So Abuela can find her way here, he says. At midnight, Tia Tish says, the spirits will come out to visit. They will take the flavor from the food we've left for them. Thinking about the spirits gives Beto the willies. Will they know he sneaked a lick of one of the sugar calaveras? Will he be in trouble for putting a shoe on Abuela's altar? He shivers and Mea teases him for having chicken skin. The church bells sound 11 low gongs, and the stars shiver too. Beto gets sleepy, trying to count them, and he has to close his eyes. Then there's a sound, like dry sticks on paper drums. And Beto sits up. Clickety-clack, bump. Uh-oh, says Beto. He reminds himself that he's not afraid of those crazy calavera clowns, but he is, just a little. Until all in a chorus, the skeletons jump out. They're doing a bone dance, shouts Beto. And so they are. The skeletons dance and clack their jaws and sing. Tonight we get to leave our beds and crack our knuckles, knock our heads. We dance the salsa and the cha-cha, do the tango and the conga. Beto laughs. A friendly skeleton pulls him into the dance. In no time, Beto's singing, uno, dos, cha-cha-cha. Bump your hip bones, bump your shins, fling your ribs like bowling pins. They do the calavera cakewalk, the skeleton stomp, and the bony maroni. Snap your fingers, click your thumbs, bang your kneecaps like 2 drums. They dance the Halloween hula, the monster mambo, and the tibia twist. Beto calls out, "Follow me!" And he leads all the skeletons in a conga line. The bone dance is so much fun that Beto looks for his family to join in. But he can't find them. In that moment, he's all alone, with nothing but bones. He feels a chill in his bones. Then he sees someone he knows. Abuela! Beto runs to his grandmother, who holds him in arms as soft as braided bread. Oh, Abuela, I'm sorry, he says. I couldn't find anything you love to put on your altar. Hush, little one, says Abuela. I'll tell you what I love most of all. Suddenly, Beto isn't in Abuela's arms anymore. Papi is holding him instead, whispering, Beto, wake up, it's midnight. Can you feel the spirits? Asked Thea Tish. They're all among us like the wind. Beto says, I know. He fishes in Papi's pocket. What are you looking for? Papi asks. Beto finds Papi's wallet and takes out a small snapshot. This is what Abuela wants on the altar. It's a picture of Beto. It's true, says Papi. She loved you most of all. Beto places his photo among the marigolds on the tumba. The families tell wonderful stories about Abuela all night long. The end.